Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Today we're going to be talking about the creation of the Jedi Order. If you guys want to see more Star Wars content in the future, definitely hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for joining me. We are on episode 2 of the Timeline series. If you guys didn't watch episode 1, I will leave it in the description below and at the end of the video. Let's get right in. Around 36,000 BBY, a millennia after the first migration of Tython, the Jedi Order was created. They would begin to establish temples around the sites of each Thoyor, with each academy dedicated to a different aspect of the Force. The first was located on the continent of Tyr. Within vast caverns of the silent desert, they built the Qui-Gon Xesh, where advanced skills were taught. On the continent of Masara, the Thoyor hovered over the sea. Along the coast, Bodhi was constructed, the Temple of the Arts. Further south, on the dangerous continent of Cato Zakar, in the mountains of the Ice Giants, a fortress would be built where students would learn martial arts. They called it Stav Kesh. A monk named Lami became one of the first temple masters of the order and was put in charge of Stav Kesh. Not all the Thoyor were over land. One was submerged in the deep ocean, and the temple was built around it. They called it Maharakesh, the Temple of Healing. On the massive continent of Tals, several temples were built, constructed on the Great Chasm. Anal Kesh would become the Temple of Science. In the east, Vertepe circled the massive volcanoes and became the Forge of the Order. Just to the south, Calith, the Temple of Knowledge, would hover in the sky. Elsewhere, the Padawan Kesh, which served as a training academy, would be constructed. Master Nordia Grawl would serve as the academy's first temple master. And lastly, Akar Kesh, the Temple of Balance, was established under the large Thoyor near the monolith. All young Jedi were known as journeymen and would travel the surface of Tython and visit each temple to complete their training. But as the years passed, the Tythons would begin to have children who were not Force sensitive. It became evident that those who were not able to use the Force could not survive on the planet. Following the destruction of the city Arum, drastic measures needed to be taken. During the second millennium of their colonization, the second migration had occurred. All Tythons who were not Force sensitive would be forced to leave the planet for their own safety. Families would be torn apart, creating wounds that could never be healed. They would leave the planet, first settling on the moons of Ashla and Bogan, and eventually spreading throughout the nearby systems. They would intervene on the settled world only as requested, unless the Force guided them to do otherwise. Over the centuries, the Jedi would become mysterious, feared figures of myth and legend. Around 26,000 BBY, they would discover the planet of Shikakwa. It was ruled by feudal gangster clans known as the Nine Houses. In 25,805 BBY, Hadiya, a Twi'lek female, would become the Despot Queen. She united the crime lords under her rule and began to conquer nearby planets. The series of battles would be known as the Despot War. Her actions would cause unrest throughout the system. The Jedi Order sought to keep peace not only on Tython, but throughout the galaxy. While wars raged on nearby planets, Queen Hadiya would prepare a secret invasion to raid Tython. The Jedi were initially caught off guard and would need to quickly regain their footing against the brutal and massive invasion force. Jedi Master Rajivari led the Order in battle and earned the nickname General. The Temple Master of Akar Kesh and leader of the Jedi Council, Master Talat, would be slain in battle and succeeded by Master Ketu. Many battle droids were used throughout the war, along with Deathstalker and Death Blaster class ships. Volno Ryo, a noble of the planet Shikakwa, sought revenge against Queen Hadiya for the death of his family. He would seek out Daegen Lok, a Jedi Ranger and best friend of his brother. The two would infiltrate the Despot army and rise up the ranks to kill the Queen. Lok would become a valued lieutenant of Hadiya, and the two would eventually become lovers. The Despot army would begin laying siege on the Temple of Calith. The battle saw massive casualties for both sides. Lok would put his feelings aside for his queen and would slay her, ending the war. The aftermath of the battle was catastrophic. Among the Jedi, over 100,000 have been slaughtered. The Despot army would lose 1 million soldiers during the invasion of Tython, with thousands more injured. For his role in the battle, Daegen Lok would be promoted to the rank of Master, but in 25,800 BBY, he would descend into the chasm, a rift in the surface that drove many Jedi mad. He would receive visions of an army of dark warriors carrying blades of fire. Luckily, Lok would be able to concentrate on the Force and maintain his sanity. Peace and balance would be restored on Tython. Yet, 12 years later, the Jedi Order would find the wreckage of a ship, the first to enter the system since the Thoyor had brought them there over 10,000 years ago. The ship was of unknown origin. It crashed near the rift, close to the temple of Xesh. A massive force storm began to rage due to the massive amount of death from the crash. The Order would investigate and encountered a sole survivor, a mysterious man that wielded a bizarre weapon known as a Force Saber. His name was Xesh, and he brought forth the greatest threat the Order had ever seen. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Next week, we will be covering the Rakatan Empire and the Force Wars, so stay tuned for that. I thought I'd split these up into 2 different videos. Also, guys, let me know what type of videos you want to see. Do you want to see the longer 10-minute plus videos or 5 to like 8 minutes? I don't want things to get too boring or too overwhelming, so I decided to split these up into 2 separate videos. So just let me know. Just let me know if you want longer ones, shorter ones, whatever. I'll be happy to make whatever you guys want to see. And comment down below what time period you are interested in seeing most once we get there. And remember, we will be getting the next timeline video up next weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys did enjoy the video, if you could go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, as it does help the video spread out to other people and helps the channel continue to grow. And guys, if you want to see more content, Star Wars content in general, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for everything, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.